Hi, my name is Varshini and my teammate is Vaishnavi. For our virtual reality final project, we are doing an AR application that is the ping pong game. This is the screenshot on how the game looks. And for the intro, here the ping pong game is very similar to the table tennis that's been played in a fast paced sport with 2 to 4 players. The objective is to score points by hitting the lightweight ball over a net using the paddles. In the AR version of this game, we have done it for 2 players right now, which is adaptive and provide a immersive experience where we have 2 rackets, ball, and a rectangular table which has been divided. So the tools that we used are the Unity Hub, which is a powerful game engine widely used for creating the VR and the AR experiences. We got the assets uh, from the game assets like the ball and the rackets and also the table that is required. The script for the scripting of the whole project, we have used the C sharp for all our logics. And here I can show you the hierarchy on how we have divided. Here is the ball. We also have a spear collider, the rigid bodies, and the ball controller, where we can control the speed of the ball and the min directions of it. And we have 2 players for each of the rackets. And we have an arena that is the board. Um, we have the walls right here so that the ball, whenever the ball collides, it bounces back, and also so that the ball doesn't pass over the rectangular surface. We have the goals here, which uh, is used further for the scoreboards. So every time there is a loss of goal, we'll have a point given to the opposite player. So we also have the canvas, which is used for counting down. So we have a starter and also gives a countdown 1, 2, 3, so that the players are ready before the ball is triggered. We have the scoreboard right here, which is in the panel. The scripts are right here for each of them. So here the ball direction, I can give you an example that this particular function right here chooses the direction every time there's a collision or based on this function. We also have a stop and a go for the to choose the direction for those balls. We have a game controller which starts the game. We have a start gamer which helps in starting the game with a countdown. So that has been called in this game controller. Also, it also looks into the score points every time there is a loss of point or a gain of point. It makes sure that it resets the ball every time, updates the score. Mm, so we have the racket script which has been added to both the players for the movement of the players as well. Uh, then we have the goal controller. So every time there is a miss of ball, a new ball will be triggered, and before the ball has been given, there will be a start countdown again. I can show the demo here. The slides will be continued and we'll show the demo once that's done. Now my teammate will continue.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashni. So, coming to the learnings part, one of our major learnings was to bring to life an augmented reality application. Uh, we learned how we can integrate digital and physical environments to actually build a game. Since we were not very much familiar with Unity's interface, we actually had to get familiar with Unity. So this actually proved to help us, get familiar with Unity, its interface, and to how to develop a scene in Unity and how to add scripts to Unity. Also, since there were like some physics involved with respect to the ball movement and how the ball had to move once it collided with the racket, we had to look into some physics part and calculate how we had to change the direction of the ball. So that was one of our learnings, and we also had to add animations to the game. For example, like making the ball more look more attractive, and make it look like as if it was moving in real time. So for that, we had to learn few animation, how to include animations in Unity, and then to give the user an overall good experience while playing the game, we had to like make the arena maybe look more beautiful, and make and to display the scores like more attractively, and to give a vibe, we had to like give a countdown for the game and as such. So these were like some of the things which we had to learn how to include in our game. Also, there were like few things like including a canvas in the game to display the score. So we were not aware of how we could include the canvas and the text inside a game. So this actually helped us learn everything, how to do all these things in Unity. Next slide, please. Yeah, how to play. The basic instructions on how to play the game is that first we need to press space to start. For the left player, we need to use Control W and Control S to move the players up and down. And for the right players, we need to use up arrow and down arrow to move the players up and down. Now we'll be showing a demo of the game, like we had mentioned before. Varshini, you can take over.
So here I start the game right here. So I have pressed the space. So this is how it's starting. I am using the W and S for the left player and the arrows for the right. So here is how we get the score right here, and a new ball will be triggered. So both the scoreboards are working, and we have the colliders right here, and the ball has to be hit in the center for the players to work. Uh, so yeah, I can pause it right here, and I can show you all these colliders right here, which are helping us to bounce back the ball, and also the rackets. Once they hit the middle part, only then the ball will be um, not passing the wall. So here we have faced few challenges which my teammate will be talking about.
Yeah. So talking about the challenges, during the development of this game, we actually had several challenges. First and foremost challenge was like to create a new project in Unity using 2D. We had to shift between like maybe we had thought of doing some application in 3D, and then we actually initially our idea was to develop a game in 3D and then play it in mobile, but we couldn't do that because we had some challenges. I mean, we couldn't play the game in our mobiles. We tried to figure out the error, but we were not able to actually figure out what was going wrong. So then we had to shift to a 2D application, and then yeah, so that was the ping pong game. And coming to the game dynamics, there were cases where the bracket and the ball actually shifted away from their positions randomly. So we had to like figure out why that was happening, and had to include uh, some checks to make sure that the ball went only ball was going through only a particular direction. So the next challenge which we were faced was like ensuring that the racket uh, actually stayed in the arena, and we were able to move the racket, and to make sure that we are able to move the racket with proper controls. And then we also like faced few challenges while setting up the scoreboard. Like I had mentioned before, that we were not aware about canvas and how to include text in a game, in a AR game. So that was a challenge for us to figure out how to do it, and how to make sure that everything is contained within the arena. And one of the main challenges which we faced was that during the parallel development of game between me and my teammate, it when we tried to actually send our Unity package to our partner to run it in their system, we observed that it actually took a lot of time for the application to load in the other system, and also sometimes it actually didn't load completely. It was like just stuck with a blank screen, and or with some, I mean, it was basically the application did not get set up properly. But yeah, we did overcome almost all of the challenges, and yeah, that's it. So this was a game which we developed. Thank you.
And also, if we want to have an improvement further, we would like to add 4 players and make it mobile friendly as well. And also make sure whenever, even if the ball hits the corners of these rackets, it should be able to bounce back. Maybe that would be something that we would like to implement in future. And or maybe also when the racket uh, goes to the wall collider, it should stop. Maybe now it's also passing a bit more than required, which we faced as a challenge, uh, which we tried and couldn't overcome. Maybe it worked for still half of it, but still it kind of passes the wall a bit. And also, we can have a multi we can spread the rectangular tables and make more interactive. But yeah, thank you. This would be our improvements for future.